These are the remaining Carson City Morgan Dollars from the Carson City roll reveals. In this video, I'm documenting the second Carson City submission. For this round, all 4 coins will be submitted to CACG. Not because I expect perfect results, but because I want to show the real grading risk with Carson City Morgans, and that includes the possibility of receiving straight grades or details grades. These are the same coins you saw in CC3 and CC4, and this submission completes the Carson City roll arc before we start getting the returns back. This 1883 came from Carson City roll reveal number 3. This is coin number 1 from that roll. All right, so we don't have too much in the way of wear, obviously. This is an uncirculated coin. We do have some abrasions. We've got some very nice luster. The strike strength could be a little stronger, although I wouldn't call that weak. It's just not completely fully formed. Eye appeal, not too bad. I mean, you've got a little bit of a stain or something as an outline at the top. But again, your reflectivity looks pretty nice. Your luster is excellent. So let's see what we've got over here. So that's where we've got a little bit more of the chatter and the noise on the cheek and in the fields. I don't know that this definitely disqualifies it from a higher grade, but my guess is that if this comes back straight and not details cleaned, which is a possibility, I'm a little concerned about that reverse right there. But if it comes back straight, we're probably looking at something capped around in state 62, maybe 63 at best. If it comes back details, cleaned or otherwise, well, that's a different issue altogether that we'll address. But again, these are the kinds of coins where grading philosophy really matters. Okay, so this is coin number 20 from CC roll reveal number 3. And as the other coin before it has a very nice looking reverse and not a terrible obverse, let's look at what we've got here. Not a fantastic strike, but not terrible. A little bit of weakness on the hairline. We've got a nice little hit on the jawline and another one out there in front of the nose. Another little shutter mark before the chin and under the chin. Again, this is not likely to get a really high grade, but I don't know that if it comes back straight, they're going to do much worse than 62. My guess is 62, 63 range. And that's probably it. Maybe even a 61 if they consider that hit on the jaw to be too much to tolerate for a better grade. Hard to tell, but looking at it over here, you'll see my concern because that is a little bit deeper right there. That is not the kind of mark that you ignore. It certainly detracts a little bit from eye appeal. The surfaces, they don't appear cleaned at first glance, but I have been fooled before, and that's why it's going to get graded because they will be the ultimate decider. All right. This one is coin number 1 from the Carson City roll reveal number 4. So we've got a few marks and a little bit of chatter, a decent strike, Eye appeal may be considered somewhat limited because of the noise on the cheek and the jaw and the face. And that could be considered a limiting factor to a grader, depending on who gets it. The reverse looks fairly clean. Couple of marks here and there, especially out there by the arrow tip, but a pretty decent breast feather strike on the reverse. All right, let's put this over here for a minute. And that's my concern is we've got a couple of hits on the cheek and the jaw in there that might be considered disqualifying for anything above a, 61, 62 range. But it does have a nice little die crack going on at the bottom there and at the top. So what they do with that, anybody's guess, but the reverse looks pretty nice. And again, if it doesn't come back details cleaned, I've got a range in mind of what I think this could hit, but that's the point of the submission. We're going to let the grading speak for itself. I'm not going to try to second guess or outguess the grading services. They do what they do. They're better at it than I am. All right, this is coin number 20 from Carson City Roll Reveal number 4. And continuing the pattern, we've got a very nice reverse. Again, if it doesn't come back details cleaned, I have suspicion, but not anything concrete. I don't think it's cleaned, but I've been wrong before. And on the obverse, we've got, some chatter, some noise, and some marks, but I don't see anything real serious that might be seriously disqualifying for a better grade. That one below the chin might be. We'll take a closer look at that in just a minute. All right, so here's what we're really looking at on the obverse. I mean, we've got some rubs and dings and hits pretty much all over this coin. There's one right under the eye, a lot of noise in the fields, a couple of hits on the cheek and jaw, the nose. Again, I've got an idea where they might put this one, but it's hard to really predict. And I'm not going to try to outguess them. But this one has another beautiful die crack that goes pretty much all the way through the coin. Maybe it's not this one. No, but it does have a nice die crack up here. There it is. I found it right there on United. Into the wing. A little bit into the States. A nice little cameo, some very nice reflectivity. Again, if it is not judged as having been cleaned, I will be very happy. So at this point, the decision is made. All 4 of these Carson City coins are going to be submitted to CACG. They're going in together. Same service tier, same standard will be applied across the board. That's intentional. I've said this before, but it matters enough to repeat. Grading isn't about chasing outcomes. It's about consistency, transparency, and letting the coin stand on its own merits. Some of these coins may come back straight graded. Some may not. And whatever the result is, it will be shown exactly as it comes back. No filtering, no reframing. That's how this series has been handled from the beginning, and that's how it will finish. Once CACG returns these, we'll walk through them one by one, exactly the same way we did before submission.
If you've been following the CC series, you'll probably want to subscribe so you can see how these coins come back.